Hey friends, you're watching BrainStormAcres. I'm Henry. A very tired Henry. I have a story. It's gonna kind of sound like a fish tale. For those of you who don't understand that idiom, it's what fishermen do when they say they caught a fish 3 feet long and it's really 3 inches long. But I'm here to assure you that everything I'm about to tell you is absolutely true. Well, you may recall from an earlier show that Irene's iPhone stopped working correctly. And that meant I couldn't get anything off her phone. She couldn't send it to me. It was a real mess. So, pardon me. So Wednesday, I decided I'd start contacting our cellular service provider to get a replacement phone. Now, we have an extended warranty on our phones, but the phone itself was actually covered under a normal warranty. That's great because, in theory, I should be able to get a replacement phone at no charge to us. So I started calling. It should be pretty simple, but, a lot of customer service lines have been improved. What do I mean by improved? Well, there's a lot of them that are using artificial intelligence to replace the old voicemail tree that was a real pain to navigate. And instead, they now have artificial intelligence actors that are really difficult to deal with. It meant that when I called the customer service number from my phone, I had to give a lot of information to prove that I am who I said I was. That's not a big deal. I don't mind doing that. But once you get that done, it's entirely possible that you're going to be trapped inside an interactive voice response system, IVR. They're the bane of my existence. Why? Because the IVR system never has the issue that I need to deal with as part of its vocabulary. Now, once you get into the IVR system, there's no way to get to a human operator. None. So after spending 25 minutes messing around with the IVR system, I hung up and called back again. And I immediately got put right back into the IVR system without so much as, "Howdy, I'm here to help you." Just right to the IVR system. Which is a problem because it didn't have a response for the problem that I was trying to deal with. Namely, get a replacement phone for Irene's cellular phone. Now, her cell phone started not charging correctly on the lightning cable. It's an iPhone. It's a nice iPhone. It's not the top of the line now. When we bought it, it was top of the line. But it's no longer top of the line. And that's okay. It does what we need done. And it mostly works well. Except when the lightning cable no longer functions and the lightning port no longer functions, there's no way for us to easily get data from that phone onto my personal computer so that I can use it for editing videos. Okay, we're willing to live with that, and we did for a number of months, but then all of a sudden, it stopped charging using the wireless charger that we have specifically for this iPhone. Now that's a problem. If it won't charge wirelessly and it can't charge on the lightning port, then it's going to run out of batteries, and the battery is not user replaceable. So I had no choice but to call and start the process. Well, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth through the IVR system, and I finally found a way to get to a human operator. And that was a joy. Not really a joy. It was a pain in the neck. Because what you needed to do was not press any buttons, not say anything, other than I need to talk to a person. Eventually, the IVR system decides it doesn't have the answer and it needs to transfer you to what? A human being. Imagine that. That's what I asked to do to begin with. You would think that it'd be quick and easy to get a replacement phone sent, so I could simply exchange phones and would be back working the way we're supposed to. Not so. Why? Well, because we live in rural Arizona where there's no mail delivery. And the cellular service provider requires that your address that you give for a Federal Express shipment be discoverable by the United States Postal Service address lookup. And guess what? When there's no local delivery by the Postal Service, no addresses show up as being deliverable. Now, that's quite a problem. Let's just call it a problem. Now, it's a real limitation when you live off-grid like we do, and we live in rural America. So we finally decided, after messing around with that for about 6 hours, we finally decided we would have the phone shipped to the local corporate cell service provider. And there is one. It's in Flagstaff, and it's 60 miles from our house. Not a big deal. I'm willing to drive up there. I wanted to go up there anyway because I wanted the data from her old phone to be transferred to her new phone, which is best done at a cell service center. The only problem was the package was set to go for next day delivery, but it didn't make it out on Wednesday because it was after the drop time for FedEx. So it was going to go out on Thursday. Perfect. That means I'd have it Friday. It'd be there Friday by lunchtime. So I'd be able to take Irene's phone up, with Irene, by the way, because she needed to sign for the package, and get the phone taken care of. They were supposed to contact me with a tracking number. No tracking number came Thursday. I contacted the cellular provider, and they couldn't tell me the tracking number. They said, call tomorrow morning and we'll find out. Now, in the meantime, I spent all day Thursday calling around to find out about the package. Friday came around. I finally got the tracking number after 6 hours. 6 is a magic number in this story. 6 more hours of phone time with both the cellular provider and Federal Express. And Federal Express said, well, the package is going back to the sender because it was refused delivery. What? Yeah, they refused delivery, even though it was addressed to Irene. It was going to the store, and they refused delivery. I then spent the next 7 hours trying to reach out to Federal Express to have the package held at the Federal Express station in Flagstaff, because I would go up on a Saturday morning to pick up the phone. I got a hold of Federal Express, and they said, well, we're not sure that it's still in Flagstaff. It may already be on the way back to the sender. But you can come up and try. Now, I wasn't talking to people in Flagstaff. I was talking to somebody in the Philippines. Yep, most of these calls in those 3 days were to the Philippines. That's okay. Most of them spoke perfectly good English, but they had a really hard time understanding that there's no mail delivery where I live. Okay, well, we got over that. Saturday morning, I had the tracking number. I checked. It said it was refused for delivery, and they were going to try to redeliver it on Monday. But they'd already told me that it might already be on the way back to the sender because it was refused. So we drove to Flagstaff early Saturday morning, went to the FedEx station. Fortunately, The package was there. Irene went in and signed for it, got it, and we went across town to the cellular provider's store. And she then spent 2 hours getting the data transferred from her old phone to her new phone. So, I spent, all said and done, probably about 30 hours on the phone over a 4-day period. Quite a journey, quite a trial. But it seems to be working. It charges. I can now get data off her phone again, so we can start doing shows that take videos from Irene's phone and put them into our shows. Well, thanks for listening to this long story. It's quite a story. It's really frustrating, and I'll tell you, I almost lost it when I found out the package had been refused by the store. Fortunately, it's worked out in the end. We now have a phone that works. Irene should be happy with it. It's the same exact phone style, phone model that she had, so she knows how to work everything. The only thing is now we need to go in and make sure that all the applications that she had transferred correctly. We know that one didn't, and she's been busy installing that. So, well, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the bell for notifications, because there's a lot more stuff going on here, including not going up to Flagstaff for a cell phone, I hope. We'll catch you on the next one. Bye. Hey, don't forget to brainstorm, and hope you don't have to make phone calls like I did.